I've been able to spend a week with the new 2022 Hyundai Tucson that's completely redesigned, and I'm gonna give you the things that I like and the things that I don't like, so you know what to expect. Now I want you to know I have a full review of this Hyundai Tucson. If you wanna see all the details, be sure to look for that in the description below. Now for the first thing that I don't like, that I would say is bad, obviously this is all my opinion and everything is very minor, but it's the fact that this is exclusively touchscreen. All of this is exclusively touchscreen on the limited trim, and part of it is touchscreen on the SEL. I mean, even the power button, the volume, all of that is touchscreen. And the other thing is that it's glossy piano black. It just looks terrible, and it's gonna have lint and scratches on it. Even the temperature, fan speed, all of that is touchscreen. Obviously there's some voice controls that you can do for this, but it's just not the same because you have to take your eyes off the road, you have to be more precise, and you can't just crank a volume knob or crank a fan speed. So that's complaint number one. Now the next thing that I don't like comes under the hood, sort of. I like the options that Hyundai has, and I'll talk more about that in a second, but it's the fact that the miles per gallon and efficiency is still just not quite even close to Honda and Toyota with the RAV4 and CR-V. And on top of that, this naturally aspirated 2.5 liter four-cylinder, not only is it quite a bit less efficient than, for example, the RAV4, it's like 4 miles per gallon less efficient in this all-wheel drive model on the highway. That's a pretty significant difference, but it also has less power than both that and the CR-V. So it's still good, but they've still got work to do considering it's got less power than those as well. Now the next thing is also really small, and I've complained about this on a couple of other Hyundai and Kia models. We have the big upgraded 10.25 inch screen. We have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but it has to be plugged in. Now that's normal for a lot of vehicles, but the kicker is that lower trim Hyundai Tucson like the SE and SEL will give you wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but not this top end limited trim. So you'll spend more money, you'll even pay to get the wireless charger, but you still won't get wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. That's for the 2022 model as of right now. That could be changing with software updates, but it's just a small complaint. Now starting with my likes, in no particular order, it's multifaceted. There's just a lot of things that I like, but the biggest thing is that this is a big improvement compared to even the 2021 Tucson. This generation is better in every way. First of all, the interior is much more premium and has a lot less of a cheap feeling. The last Tucson had a lot of hard plastic and just felt a lot cheaper, not as well put together compared to this one. Also, the space improved all around. This Tucson is bigger, it's longer, it's wider, it's got more space inside and the cargo area, and we'll talk more about that in a second. Plus, it's more efficient and more powerful than it was before. Even though I knocked on it, it's still better than it was before, so Hyundai made big improvements overall. Now, the next thing that I like, even though I knocked this engine for not being as efficient as a Honda or Toyota, it's more efficient than it was, and it's even more powerful than it was. So they at least made improvements, but that's not the main thing. The fact is that there are multiple options. So you've got this base engine, you can get a hybrid, you can get a plug-in hybrid, you can get an N-line performance variant of this Hyundai Tucson too. So there's a powertrain for everybody, and there's a 10-year, 100,000 mile powertrain warranty on this Hyundai Tucson. Now my next like is gonna be the space. So first, let me show you the back seat. Like I said, this is improved, but this back seat has a lot of leg space. I don't know if it's class leading or not, but it definitely feels like it could be. I've got great foot space, great knee space sitting behind myself. I'm 5'9", but overall passenger space is great for this size of a vehicle in the compact class. Not to mention cargo space is also very good behind the second row, and even when you fold those down. And plus, this is a vast improvement in space over the last generation. This is now competing with CR-V and RAV4 and Forester in terms of space, so this is excellent. Now the next thing that I like is the absolute value of the SEL trim. This is the limited trim. This has all the bells and whistles, but the SEL has a good starting price for this class, and it's well equipped. But the SEL also gives you the option to get so many features that you'll see on this limited available on that. So you can kind of pick and choose some of the things you want without having to just completely jump up to another trim level and get everything, and maybe some things that you don't want. So the value in the SEL trim is just great. Now my final like is twofold. The fact that they added port injection to this 2.5 liter engine. So it's direct and port injected. So hopefully it does not have problems with carbon buildup, but also the fact that this still gets a 10-year, 100,000 mile powertrain warranty. So those are just the things that I like and don't like. Obviously some nitpicking going on. I do these on all sorts of different vehicles. But if you want to see the full review of this Hyundai Tucson, be sure to look in the description below. Hyundai did a great job with this. They checked a lot of boxes and they really offer a nice product for this compact class. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you like or don't like down below. We'll see you next time.